Hey, y'all. It's your boy Diggity Dean Dane Sampson, or whatever you feel like calling me today. If you really know me, you know I'm trying to chill more. In Daner's world, I have the privilege to be here with Meredith.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. This is your space.
But look what you brought. You didn't
I
just
did.
invite me on the pod. You like set up a whole picnic and everything.
I did.
Which is amazing.
I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate the opportunity, you know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of people just want to sit in the studios, and I get it when you're those professionals every day, but, you know, you are giving me an opportunity, and I wanted to be
No, I'm not.
so thankful
I'm not giving
for
you
that.
anything. You're giving me all the food, which I love.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Are you hungry?
I am,
Let's
definitely.
make some plates. You want some? We got to do a little tradition, though. So my friend and business partner, Ian, he bakes this bread from scratch.
No.
So it's organic.
What?
It's this. He's also Italian. So will you break some bread with me?
Okay, yes.
Let's see if we can break it. Hold on.
This is very this is
very Italian.
Very Italian and also very Catholic.
Yeah.
When I go to church, they're like, we are breaking
body of Christ.
Yes. I have to try this.
Yeah, we're gonna pour you a little oil too.
So I make my own bread.
Yeah.
I have like a sourdough starter.
I heard sourdough's really hard.
It is. It's a bitch. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very temperamental. They say it's not, but if you don't know what you're doing and it's like your first time, it's a pain in the butt. But
Can you imagine just dealing with moody bread?
it is. And then if you don't pay enough attention to it, or you don't do enough waste or anything like that, it's just annoying. But if you kind of pay attention to it and you get good at it, then they say it's easy, but you have to pay attention to it. Yeah. Oh my God, are we at Carrabba's right now?
If you want to be.
You have like a flavored oil with spices.
We do.
What kind of greenery is that?
I think it's just some oregano.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something real simple, you know.
Okay. All right. No THC.
No THC. I wish so. We try to keep it professional. I mean, I do got a pen. We can talk later. No, I'm just kidding. So I wanted to talk. You know, you've been in this game for quite a while now.
Yes.
You know, I read a little bit in your bio. You started approximately like 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you got your break. You went to North Florida.
I went
in
to
Jacksonville.
Yeah, the University of North Florida. I tried to get into other universities, and they all said, you're not smart enough to be accepted into this school. So when the University of North Florida, and my family at that time lived in St. Augustine, so it was a long enough drive, like an hour or more away from my family, because I didn't want to be living in the same town. You know, I didn't want to go to anything into St. Augustine or anything like that. So
yeah, you want to branch out, be your own person.
Exactly. Yeah. So I tried my hardest to go further away. That didn't work. So Jacksonville was it. And I've lived in Jacksonville before. Growing up with my father, I lived in Duval.
Yeah.
Like we were really, really broke and poor at that time. So I know Jacksonville like the back of my hand, and that's why I couldn't wait to leave.
Jacksonville's a huge city, too.
It's massive. It's the largest landmass in the entire country.
I did not know
So
that.
to go to a Jags game compared to where I lived, I mean, it's an easy 45-minute to an hour drive just to get there. There, like downtown, even to the beaches. Yeah, that's how large it is. But so I started interning while I was going to college, and then also was working late into the night, and then they accepted me, and that's how I started.
Yeah, I kind of saw that story. You heard an ad, and they were like looking for a campaign, and you jumped up the opportunity.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, excuse me. I applaud that because people are afraid to take opportunity.
Yeah, they are.
You know, like don't be afraid to ask. All they can say is no. And if they do, use it as an educational moment.
For sure. I think that trying to do every opportunity you can, especially in a certain industry that you're interested in, starting from the bottom and working your way up.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe sometimes with this generation, they just want, or they just see that they're the president of the company, or they just see that they're running this and that. They don't understand that they've been grinding. It started from, you know, delivering mail to all that stuff, and being an assistant and working your way up in the industry. But yeah, I started off as an intern, and a lot of radio stations don't even do internships anymore.
No, they don't anymore.
Do you know why?
I do not, but you educate me.
Okay, because of Diddy. And this is before the trial.
Diddy ruins everything.
Okay, do you remember his show on MTV?
Yes.
Okay, so, you know, running of the cheesecake and getting all that stuff. Well, several of his interns, this is after that, they were complaining that it's not a part of my job to go get you food at Subway. It's not a part of my job to go run and get your dry cleaning.
I'm not your slave.
Right, exactly. But for me, I thought that that's what it was, like being an intern.
Yeah.
Like just not necessarily like picking up dry cleaning, but I don't mind picking up lunch for everybody at the office or getting Starbucks or whatever. I felt like that was actually
I kind of, you know, especially, you know, things have changed, and you know, the climate of how people are, but that used to be like what we would consider paying your dues.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You got to do the grunt work, you got to do the unthankful tasks.
Sure.
And if you do those and you're willing and you're not complaining about it, ideally you will get rewarded. You know, and not-
Eventually,
Eventually.
yeah, you'll get a bigger opportunity.
but I think they want to see like what is this person willing to do? Are they willing to not in that context, but are they willing to do things that make them uncomfortable? Again, I know we got to be politically correct, but like
I know
hey,
what you
this
mean.
sucks,
Right.
but I'm gonna do it because I want to
Right.
curry some favor.
Yes.
But you also then you moved in before you became an online personality or on air personality, I should say. You worked as a producer.
Yes. So after interning at the radio station up in Jacksonville, and going to school at the same time, and trying to save up money and all that stuff, they started slowly giving me little on-air jobs,
Yeah.
and then I became a board op in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And so I was a board op for the syndicated morning show called the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah.
And they're actually still on air.
Yeah,
here
that's
in
on the KISS network, correct?
So this is on Q105 here in the building, as a matter of fact. So it's funny because now I see my old boss that I don't work with every day. So it's like seeing your ex-boyfriend, like in the hallways every day. It's like, hey, how are you?
And I've upgraded.
Right, I'm over here now. But yeah, so I was like producing and not producing. I was board opping. So board opping is since you're syndicated, wherever you're syndicated, it could be St. Louis, it could be Jacksonville. If they're based in Tampa, you have to have somebody play the local commercials because that's how you get paid.
Yes.
So you used to, well, I mean, they still do it sometimes. You have to have a body in there listening for the time to play the commercials. Right, and if they're not ready to come back yet because the commercials are still playing in Tampa, but Jacksonville is done with their commercials, then I have to play a song, and then I have to go back into the actual show. So that's what board opping is. It's not just radio, like NASCAR does that, television, all that. There are people actually behind the scenes, behind the cameras, and behind the screens running what looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, it's like an engineer board.
It really is.
What
It's
is an
huge.
engineer board?
Yeah,
for live broadcast.
Exactly. So I was board opping there, and I really wanted to like jump into radio.
Yeah.
And instead of just filling in or doing weekends, I really wanted a full-time job. Well, that MJ morning show, they had somebody that quit, and then MJ called me immediately on the phone. He's like, hey, would you be interested in a full-time position on the MJ morning show? I had just graduated college.
Nice.
Right, so it
You're
kind
like,
of worked.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so I was like, hell yeah. And so I packed up my stuff. I'd never been to Tampa before. I didn't know a single soul down here.
Yeah.
And I moved down here all by myself. And so I was hired on the MJ Morning Show as the only full-time female he's ever had. Any other female he's had was an intern for free, which is great because it's a lot of fun college stories and drinking and stuff like that. But people to this day still think like I was an intern on the show. And I'm like, no, I was like, I actually helped produce and ideas and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was
and
way
audio.
more.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the beginning of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I kind of have a funny story. So, before that, you work in radio, obviously, and a part of that passion, you have to be a fan of music, right?
Yes.
We love music, and, I had aspirations for music. Unfortunately, I was not blessed.
What
with
were you going to
singing
be?
volume.
What were you going to be?
I would have loved to be singing, like a power ballad singer, like I love.
Is that how great your voice is?
I wish.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So you
I
thought
had
it was
to
that
give up
great.
that dream
Yeah.
and pursue radio. And now you had a similar story. I know you were raised in church.
Yes.
Right? And you had an audition for your choir.
Yeah.
And you had your aspirations.
Everybody gets a chance at their solo, right? And so I mean, I've been going to Catholic church a lot of my life, and then I went to Catholic school in St. Augustine, so in middle school and high school. So in middle school, I was in the choir, and so that means I'm practicing and singing in a choir. I go to church now, Wednesday, Sunday, and Monday, and singing in the choir.
Yeah.
But I would always be placed in the back and away from the microphones. The microphones were always in front, right? And I never thought about anything of it. I'm very
Just
like
being polite.
Right, of course. I always thought, I was like, well, it's more of an innocent kind of thing. I wasn't even thinking about that. I always thought, I'm belting it out when I sing, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was solo time, and we went. People were taking their turns, and then I went up there, and I sang, I think, Hallelujah or something like that. And I walked back, and I felt so proud. I was like,
You nailed it.
I just nailed it. I killed that. They are so going to pick me. And I'm walking back to my seat in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And they're like this. Like horrified that I even thought that I could do that. So yeah, so you think, nobody tells you, like, can you just tell me I suck at it?
Yeah. So,
That happened to you? Did anybody tell you that
they,
you suck?
They did. I was in a church choir, and I tried for the solo, and they're like, "Hey, Dane, how about you just stick to clapping? Let's let's see if you could just catch the beat. How about
my
that?" And
God.
that's something I struggle with
Okay.
as well. Terrible dancer. Um, but with that being said, so you've been on there. Can you, if you were giving some advice to Meredith,
Sure.
that could translate to other people that are interested in getting in radio or starting a career, what advice would you give day one Meredith?
Day one Meredith is to be more confident in yourself. Don't question yourself so much. Go out there and ask all the questions.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to everybody in the building that you can, so that people know you. If they find it somewhat annoying, that's okay, because they see that you have the grind.
Correct.
I think that grinding and trying and building and becoming who you see yourself becoming one day can actually happen, because you can make as much money as you want here in America. It's infinite amount of money. And you can do that by building your brand.
Yeah.
And so I guess to answer your question would be to have more confidence and to also try everything so you can find what you truly love and what you're good at.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And you kind of mentioned too, talking to everybody and building your network.
Yeah.
I think, it's one thing to go out and try and gain a network. Do you want to plate?
I'll use my bread plate.
Okay. There's cheesecake over here too.
Cheesecake?
Yeah.
You try not to get me to go to the bathroom. There's cheese here. There's bread. There's cheesecake.
Yeah, we are. Well, I'm
like
just
it.
trying to.
I love
the cheese. So,
Is that your?
cheese is my go-to. Like
I
string
love
cheese
cheese.
is my number one snack. If
How
I'm in a
old
bad,
are you?
I'm 40.
And you love string cheese?
Yeah, if I'm in a bad mood, give me a string cheese. It's gonna get better.
Do you know other cheeses?
Do I know other cheeses?
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Okay, I love
String cheese.
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack, Monterey,
Provolone's great.
Brie.
Yeah, a good actual authentic Mexican queso.
Amazing. Goat cheese.
Goat cheese, feta.
Blue.
Yeah, buffalo mozzarella.
Let's see here. Gorgonzola.
So you're gonna win. Pepper Jack. That's all I got.
It's a cheese off.
Yeah, it's a cheese off, but we're not cheesy. Just maybe a little. So I wanted to ask you, what are, by the way, I was glad to hear, I was listening to your show yesterday, I'm glad to see that they didn't fire you.
No, not yet.
Yeah, not
Every
yet?
day I'm teetering on the fact that I could potentially be fired.
That's so wild.
No, I'm just joking.
No,
They
I know.
actually appreciate me and love me here. But it's also because I don't just do one thing here. I wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to. And by the way, if they need me to do something that I don't know how to do,
Yeah.
either teach me or I'll try to figure it out. And
Right.
if it sucks, I will just help me improve.
Yeah, help me improve.
With anything and everything.
Same.
In my personal life, at work, all that stuff. I know I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to give you the perfection that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. People pleaser, but not so much where it's detrimental.
Yeah,
you know
we
what
have,
I mean?
learning boundaries comes with age and maturity.
Yeah.
But there is a moniker with you that you are a woman in radio that can hang with the fellas, like with the best of them.
Yes.
But you are an advocate and a speaker for the ladies.
Absolutely.
How have you found your niche and balance where, you're just one of the homies, but still be a figure that women can look up to and relate to?
Well, I think it also has to do with, if you want to call it, the brand that I've trying to build of myself. I like hanging out with the guys. I've hung out with many of women, and it's just always, not always, but it's often like a competition.
Yeah.
I'm a girl's girl, though. I work with many beautiful, talented women, including one of my close friends, Babs.
Yeah,
And
that's where we met, at a Babs Mixer.
It's not a negative. It's a healthy, it's not even a competition, but if you want to call it that, it's a healthy competition. It's a, how can I lift you up?
Yeah.
How can she lift me up? What opportunities can we provide for one another? And I've worked with a lot of women before, and this is just what I've experienced. Some women in media they're just not like that all the time.
Yeah.
And more often than not, then that's the category they fall in.
Yeah, they're playing a character more than they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, there's jealousy or whatever. And so it's hard to find those girls, and once you do, you want to lock in on that.
Lock in.
But I love hanging out with a group of guys, men in a room. I like locker room talk.
Yeah.
You can almost say literally anything around me.
Yeah.
I don't like living in the PC world, although I
neither.
think that sometimes, we grow and we learn over time. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like saying whatever too,
Yeah.
and not being judged for it.
Yeah.
Just because I have a vagina. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I think that equality's there, you know. I think especially with, you know, this day and age of social media, and it's been around, you know, 20 plus years now.
Yeah.
We're so desensitized,
But yeah.
you know, but
Everything's in our face.
so I think it's awesome that we find women that can, you know, handle the men and do all this and that and be all that vulgar, but I think we still appreciate a lady.
Yeah.
And I think that's where your balance is really nice. You know, like we mentioned, I met you at Bab's networking event. That was
Yeah.
a huge success.
It was.
And you are active out in, you know, the social scene and certain causes. How do you kind of pick those? And then I'm going to follow up because I'm going to ask you for some advice.
Sure.
But how do you kind of pick what causes that you go support or that you may do a fundraiser for or you attach yourself to? Because you can't do them all.
You can't, and I try to do as much as I possibly can. If anybody needs me to show up, I do. I speak at a ton of high schools, colleges, elementary schools, like all of them, not only just to explain what I do for a living, because you go talk to kids these days and everybody says, I want to be on TikTok, I want to be on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. But there's more to that. There's
Yes.
behind the scenes of, you know, all these channels and all these networks, and there's way more opportunities. There's sales for all that stuff as well. So I just like educating the youth. And so when it comes to that, I enjoy helping foster care children.
Okay.
I do a lot with the Children's Home Network. My boss, Orlando, we put on, I mean, the whole station does, it's not me. And we get donations for the Children's Home Network, which is, you know, for foster care children. And they just opened up a different wing because of all the donations where they can help to try to keep siblings together.
And I think that's important.
Absolutely it is. If you've, I don't know if you've ever had a sibling or you ever, I have a brother, but we weren't raised like together. And so to hear some of the stories and how I can't even lean on the person that I was living with in the same house, it's just heartbreaking. So as a matter of fact, we're having a bunch of girls from a foster care in here in a couple of weeks, and I like to bring them in here to give them a tour so they can see the studio, and I just want to uplift them because there's a lot of bullshit that is happening, and everybody's story is different, and some of it is extremely heartbreaking, but I want them to know that if you believe in yourself, you can achieve and do whatever you want. And a lot of trauma happens in your life, and you should not let it define you. Define you whatsoever.
No,
So,
and I agree with that. And I feel like that, you know, trauma, how you deal with it, how you move past it, it affects everybody differently, individually. But once you get to a certain age, you're choosing to continue to allow it make you a victim. I feel like at a certain point.
Yeah, or you're always leaning on that as an excuse in order to not become the person and flourish.
Correct.
So I do my best, and again, everybody's totally different, to help out multiple networks here in the Tampa Bay area for foster care. And then my other big one is for autism. My brother is severely autistic. I've never been able to have a conversation with him. I'm going to be taking care of him one day. And so those would be my two big ones at this moment.
I got a poem that I'll share with you. I'll share it after. But
You're a poet?
Yeah, I do write poetry.
Okay.
And it's actually, you brought up orphans, it's a poem for orphans.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a Peter Pan analogy.
Are you trying to get me to like cry?
No.
Some of these stories are just heartbreaking. I can't even believe.
Well, I'll have to share that for you. Maybe we can use it. I'm trying to get it adapted into a song.
Can
But
I have a cracker?
you can have as many as you want.
Thank you.
I have a cracker.
You have a cracker.
Well, here, let's move some stuff around.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
This is my first. I get up every day at like 4 in the morning. This is my first
More power
thing
to
I've
you.
eaten. Oh, I'm not bragging. It's not a bragging thing. It's you should feel bad. But this is, thank you for bringing all this stuff because now I can actually eat.
Yeah, now you got a little fuel for the day. Sorry.
Very good.
Bread's really chewy.
Open your mouth. Bring the same thing. I know what it looks like.
I like this lady. So I was going to ask you, so you have experience, obviously, being from here.
Yeah.
Sorry, this food is really chewy.
You want some juice?
I'm going to get some, yeah.
Where's the champagne, by the way?
Yeah, can we have that back?
This is very funny because I thought it was wine or champagne, and it's juice.
It's fine.
You got the juice.
I'm trying to have the juice. Huh?
Right. You should see me having, sometimes we play, what is it, like Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
We'll bring in tequila, and then we'll have a couple of shots, and then we'll play Cinco de Mayo trivia on air. And then we get, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Those are some of the funniest shows.
Yeah. You guys have great chemistry.
Oh, thank you.
You really do. You guys complement each other. They're not afraid to be goofy and vulnerable. And I think that's on the other spectrum. Like men, men used to want to like explore more and, you know, maybe show their more feminine side or sensitive side.
Sure.
And I think we're finally in a place. I think also there's kind of been I don't know, like a gender swap kind of where like women are savages now and they're leading this and these men are like openly crying and I think it's confusing and now people like younger guys are like, well, I don't know what to be. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I feel like there's a healthy balance. So for me personally, I love a masculine man.
Yeah.
But if you need to be able to be open and honest.
Yeah.
This could be in the workplace. This could be at home.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, opening up and being able to relate to somebody and
Yeah.
not being so abrasive and always having your shield up. That is an example of whatever trauma or something you are refusing to work on because we're all human.
Yeah.
And, you know, just trying to put a barricade around yourself. But for the women, I feel like sometimes growing up, you either don't have a dad around or you've been treated like shit by your boyfriend or boyfriend so many times that you do put those shields up and then you just have to be that independent woman and be a little bit more aggressive. Not that women want to be. I think we would all love to have more femininity and all that stuff, but I think at the end of the day, it's survival mode.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to touch base on that then. So there is some traditional stuff. You know, I'm a single guy. You know, I came down to Florida. You know, hopefully we'll meet. But I like an equal partner. I like this. You know, there's give and take. But there is this stereotype, and especially a lot of my you know, male friends, especially like the hip hop artists, ones that have to be this macho men all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that like if you treat a woman right and she truly loves you, she'll naturally submit.
Sure.
And I think that's dangerous language sometimes because
Yeah, it's just not said the best way.
yeah. So like, how would you explain it? Because like, there's a lot of people like there's confusion like they're like, hey, you know, just waiting for my girlfriend to submit. I'm like, well, submit to what? What does that mean?
Well, first of all, are we talking about like in the bedroom? Because that's something totally different that people enjoy.
I think of both.
Right, both
you know
can be true. Well, the bedroom, some people like that.
Yeah.
And as long as both people are on the same board, or on the same page, they can use a board for whatever. But in the relationship, you know, you got to understand who you are as a man and as a woman. This is no lecture for men whatsoever. But it's kind of like, do you really want a submissive? You got to think about this.
Yeah.
Because if you want a submissive woman, that means that she's going to be a stay-at-home and maybe taking care of the kids, and she's not going to be working, and you have to make all the fucking decisions.
Yeah.
And that's you're taking on a lot.
Yeah, that's gonna be taxing.
You don't want her to ever pick a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, or make a decision. So I love like a 50-50 partnership, and of course that sways left and right.
Yeah.
I love being able to provide for my family. I love being able to show that I can be very feminine, but then also very strong-willed at the same time. Mean what I say. I mean what I say. But yeah, it's interesting. And everybody wants something different. It's crazy. You could talk to a guy and he's like, oh, I want somebody that's submissive. I'm like, that doesn't sound sexy at all.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, ideally in situations, sometimes one partner can lead and take the back seat and support the other and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like in a healthy relationship, I feel like that's give or take. And that is one thing I really do respect with you. So I was trying to schedule this.
Yeah.
You know, and I get excited about stuff. So.
Sure.
But I really respected, it was on a weekend,
Yeah.
and it was with Gasparilla with your kids, and you're like, hey, Dane, I'm spending time with family. I want to concentrate and be more present with my kids. So we'll talk about this on Monday. I loved that.
Oh, okay, because I felt
loved
bad
that. No,
sending that
because
for a second.
I am the most stubborn person, finally, because of business reasons. Like, they'll think this is a broken thing, but I purposely didn't pay for cell phone service because I'm old enough.
Yeah.
I remember when you left the house with your parents, you just left the house.
Right.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And it was very exciting to come back to messages or whatever. But when I turned 40, something I wanted to work on was being more present.
Yeah.
So if I don't have Wi-Fi or distractions,
Right.
it helps with that.
It really does, shutting off the outside noise.
Yeah, because your kids recognize
Yes.
if mom's always on her phone.
That
Mom's
is
always on her phone.
so true.
You know,
Very
so when
true.
they see you not, and they're like, oh, you know, I feel
Yeah.
so. I really wanted to commend you for that.
Well,
I feel
thank
it's
you.
a great job.
Can I just tell you that was hard for me to send?
I'm glad you did.
Okay, good, because I was like, because I don't ever want to come off as, and maybe this is a fault of mine.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to come off as like a bitch,
Yeah, no.
or oh, she's bitchy, or she has an ego, or anything like that, because I don't feel like I do. But
Not at all.
at that moment, that's how I was genuinely feeling.
Yeah.
And well, and also, they're 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, you know, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally also couldn't give the attention
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time. So okay, that's nice. Yeah, I did. I was
No,
like,
I'm glad I
oh,
could validate that for you because,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's important. And being open with people about it, like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, I'm busy right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you were very respectful, so I appreciate that.
Well, thanks.
So I kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit. So I recently just got some big news.
What is that?
So one of my goals when I came to Florida, and you know, as I got established back and forth, is you know to build this pipeline between my hometown of Cincinnati
Right.
and Tampa for artists to go back and forth.
Cool.
Because a lot of them never. I was surprised, like especially in Florida, how many locals don't even go to the beach.
Yeah. No.
And they act like it's a tour, like a vacation. And I'm like,
Well, yeah. No, I went one time this past year.
yeah.
I would go
you could
more.
If you could, you're busy.
I am. Well, first of all, I could totally go to the beach a little bit more, but it's like a thing. It's
Yeah.
like sand everywhere. It's a thing, and
Mhm.
I do not mind walking around in a bikini, like
Yeah.
on the beach, like having a good time and having a drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, just living here, we don't go that often.
I got you.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to change that. So my thing is, so I recently I had a meeting with the city of Oldsmar.
Oh.
So I met with the Parks and Rec director there, the
Cool.
fire marshal, and I had applied to. There's a park called Olds Park.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It has this beautiful amphitheater. It overlooks the bay. It has a big lawn. So we had to apply and get approved. Well, the city approved us to do an event there on May 23rd.
Oh, cool.
Very excited.
Did you have to submit permits or anything?
So yeah, you fill out an application. It's like $2,000.
Okay.
Luckily, we already have our first sponsor, Dynamic Health and Wellness.
Oh my
Babs
gosh,
people.
yeah.
They agreed to cover those costs, which
Wow.
is amazing. And now we'll just kind of fill it in. But yeah, like vendors have to have their license if they're like food trucks,
Food
stuff like
trucks,
that.
yeah.
But we got time for that. But if you've hosted events, I'm sure
Yes.
you know.
With 20,000 people in front
Yes.
of me at concerts, yes, all that kind
So,
of stuff.
what would be your advice? Well, like you're from Florida, you're a Florida native.
Mm-hmm.
What would make the people happy that you would say are some musts that I should try and incorporate?
What kind of festival?
So it's going to be music.
Okay.
A music forward, vendors and vendors.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll have. We're still planning. We just got approved yesterday.
Sure.
So I'll have some groups of artists from out of state come.
Okay.
A big portion will be, you know, locals.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I want to highlight that. I'm big. I'm well known for my open mics and give an opportunity for artists.
Cool.
You know, especially ones. So I'm thinking about incorporating maybe an open mic for like maybe an hour, hour and a half.
Why don't you do like a contest?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, do like a little contest
And
that
give
way.
out incentives.
Yeah, you could have the audience kind of get in and like clap for the person you like the best or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I've had that go wrong before because there was two that were neck and neck and I couldn't tell.
Well, I feel like my competition usually if you have like a 3-panel judge.
Yeah, that's good.
judges, then you don't have to worry about that.
100%,
And then the crowd
yeah.
can be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. So that's always fun. And the
What are
audience
some
can have fun.
what kind of music? So like, what's hitting down here right now?
Well, you're in Oldmar, so that's not a bad area, but you
Well,
kind of got to
we'll be
fill
attracting
out.
people from all over.
What's the age group you
It's
think?
open.
Okay.
You know, but I would probably say mid-20s to early 40s will be the demographic. It's a bigger
Okay.
demographic because I'm 40 myself. you
Yeah.
know?
I would say chill. Like you could, I mean, so it does depend on the people that are going to show up and ethnicities and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, you could just stick with stuff that everybody kind of likes. You could
Yeah.
go with like 80s or 90s music, which might not be your vibe.
Yeah.
You could go like EDM,
Yeah.
but that might deter
Well, we're
older
gonna have quite a bit of
generations.
performers.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, I kind of want to intrigue the Spanish population.
that's
So
great.
I'm not gonna lie. Ideally, in the world, I'd end up with a Spanish mommy.
Is that your thing?
Yeah, it's my goal.
If you went on Pornhub, your category would be Spanish.
That and gingers. You know, they're a dying breed.
Gotta help with the gingers. I've never met
Yeah.
anybody that's like, you know what I really like is a ginger.
They're exotic.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. I mean, literally.
My best friend is ginger.
Yeah.
And
What's up?
she has 3 kids, and all of them are bright ginger girls.
Well, good for her. She's
Yeah.
keeping it going.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, we were talking about your festival. So
Yeah,
I like the
festival.
contesting kind of thing. I would do
Uh-huh.
that a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
And then as the day goes on, you know, you want your better performers because when we hosted and scheduled Wild Splash, you know,
Yeah.
your best people are later on in the evening.
Yeah. Your headliners.
Because out there, beachy stuff that's why I don't really know.
I know.
Because you can literally do anything.
Yeah, and I want it to be diverse, the music lineup to be
Yeah.
diverse. So I want to attract as many people as possible. And speaking of music, there's a big thing, especially with, how many platforms there are for music.
Sure.
I remember growing up, new music came out in stores on CDs on like Tuesdays.
Yep.
Singles came out on Fridays. The radio broke records. Um, do you find yourself having the ability to break records in music still?
Um,
I don't know.
Not break records, but I mean, a good example is we like the Ti has a new song,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know about it like right when it was
Mm-hmm.
released, but then it's starting to trend a little bit more
Yeah.
on social media, and then O played it,
Mm-hmm.
my boss, and I was like, oh, this is really good,
Yeah.
and it has the same sample I think as Ice Cream Paint Job,
Yeah.
and so it hit, and so you just have to. Sometimes it's a slow build. If it's a Drake. And it's a hit, everybody's
yeah.
adding it. But if you, like, T.I. is obviously a name, but he wants to be, just as, he is.
Prominent.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So it takes time.
Well, I guess more so like this. So, like, I don't know in your format, like, it's like Orlando, since he's your boss, can he play any song he wants on his show? Or does it, because you're through a bigger
Right.
network of stations, do they give you a list that
Well,
you?
technically we can, but we have a brand,
Mhm.
and so we kind of want to stay on brand with
Okay.
that. So, have we played Justin Bieber? Of course.
Yeah.
So we can tiptoe out, but then we want to immediately go back into hip hop. We are a hip hop station.
Well, and I understand that, but
Right.
I mean, so like, say, Pusha Preem's a big name that's
Yeah.
coming up here, but he had to get a break.
Yep.
Or like, say you or Orlando heard a local artist, and you're like, this guy's fire.
Yeah.
Do you ever give them some shine?
Yes, we have
Okay,
a segment
that's-
once a day.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we have a segment once a day where we will feature a local artist of a song that's really, really popular, really, really good, and it kind of brings in the locality a little bit too. And then once you hear, you're like, oh my God, this
It's a
artist isn't
banger.
right. It's so good, but it just the world doesn't know about it yet.
Yeah.
So we do that every single day.
So how do you kind of find those? Is there a submission process, or it's just like, hey, I heard this, and you guys play it?
There's a little bit of both. You can send us your music, but really it's word of mouth. If you want to be an artist in Tampa, you have to grind, you have to get into the clubs, you have
Yeah.
to talk to people, you have to build your name, and then people will know who you are. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Tom G, it's
Yeah.
just like you have to build your brand. And then you walk in here and you can perform for everybody here on the performance stage.
You guys do that as well?
Yes, we have performances in here all the time.
When is that?
A lot of country artists. We do a lot of podcasts in here. What else? So it's different times. It's not like once a month or anything like that. It could be twice a month, different days. You could be a new artist in town. You could actually rent this space so you can shoot something.
Yeah.
Or you can invite everybody to just be like, hey,
Kind
I'm
of like
here.
a listening party. type
100%.
situation? Yeah, absolutely.
Remember back in the day with MTV?
Yeah.
Those were great.
I wish they still did more about that, man. Like, I have to get that. What is it? Do you know the email that they can submit music?
You can go to wild941.com and then you can submit it to Joey Franchise. He's
Joey
our
Franchise?
music director.
Okay.
So if you can go on there, wild941.com.
All right, there's some game for y'all guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what are some things, how do you I also want to talk to you. You're a mother.
Yes.
We talked about that. How do you balance, because I know you're very busy professionally. You're always on the go. Doing this. How do you balance that? Home life and this. How do you, tell me a little bit more about that. Obviously, we touched base on separating the two.
Sure.
But what is your day-to-day like that between mom at home and Meredith, like, at work?
That's a good question. I struggle with this every day
Okay.
because it's almost different every single day depending on what I have to do.
Yeah.
But we'll take away the extra workload for a second, just my standard stuff. So I have a part A to my day where I'm on air, a broadcaster, Meredith, and then I have a part B to my day. This is every day where I am mommy. And I got to drop you off at tutoring. And yesterday I had to drop off at ballet. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm there. And then I also want to make sure that I'm talking to the other moms. That way that they know, that
Yeah.
I'm there and I'm present. And also make other mommy friends, which I think is important. I didn't understand that until I became a mom.
Yeah.
That having other mommy friends that, I know this is silly to sound, it sounds silly, but it is good because then the kids become friends and they grow up together.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I didn't have roots like that.
Yeah.
And so since I wasn't able to have that, I'm doing my best to make sure that my kids have that
Yeah.
because that heals anything I didn't have growing
Yeah,
up.
and you want to be able to have kids to come to their birthday parties. But I can relate to that. It was like when me and my son's mother broke up,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to find play dates.
Yeah.
And it's like, I promise you I'm not hitting on you. We just
Yeah.
want to play at the park, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's important. It's important that they have those play dates every now and then.
Yeah.
And then so after the back and forth between the schools and stuff, I always like to take them to the grocery store when I can, and they can help me pick out dinner, and then they help me in the kitchen when we get home, and it's just nonstop until bedtime around 8:30. And then finally I get in bed, and then lights are out for me at 10 p.m. And
10
then
p.m.
I wake up at 4 a.m. every day.
So crazy.
And then my day starts over. So we have cameras in our face every day,
Yeah.
every single day. And I remember not caring as much how I looked or whatever. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, then your stuff starts going viral and you look like shit. And I'm like, oh, well, if I just got up a little bit earlier and put just a little bit of effort into how I look that day, I wouldn't be feeling like shit right now. And so it's also taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And taking care of who you are and how you want people to perceive you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the next day starts at 4 a.m. I get here at like 5:30, and the morning show starts live at 6. So I get here, I set up the studio usually, and then I go into a side studio and I start voice tracking, recording a separate show.
Oh, wow.
That's on air from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day.
Wow.
So while I'm doing a live show during the commercial breaks, I go over and I record like a voice track, a show to
That's
sound live.
multitasking at its finest right there.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's the gist of kind of like what I do.
That's awesome, and I think that's great. I mean, obviously you're doing well. Your toes look nice, by the way. I don't
Thank
mean
you.
To be creepy.
No, you're not creepy. I just got them done yesterday. You know, that's also what I do. Like in between meetings and
Yeah.
stuff, that's also taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Besides going to the gym, I want to make sure I can go get my nails done every 2 or 3 weeks, or a spray tan, or like I said, the gym. I don't know. It's hard.
I'm glad you don't go Donald Trump orange spray though.
Well, hold on. I've been there. I've
been
definitely
there?
been there. It's
Okay.
embarrassing for like the first day or two.
And then it looks great.
And then it looks great for 2
Yeah.
weeks. But, you know, I end up looking like that juice right there.
Okay.
But at least I have blonde hair and blue eyes, and I can get,
Pure and gold.
I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't look super bad because of the blonde
No,
hair.
I'm just playing around. So on air, you know, we have fun times, we have this and that. Can you? Well, I'm going to start you out. So on the radio, obviously, I mean, it's called Orlando and the Freak Show. You guys talk about all kinds of crazy things. Has there ever
do.
been, you know, because I'm sure you shoot ideas for segments,
Yeah.
you know, topics. What are some, maybe it's a topic that you thought was really important that got shot down? And, you know, right here, maybe we can talk about it.
Let's see
Or
here.
maybe some things topics that should have more light shown on them.
Well, it is called Orlando and the Freak Show, so
Yeah.
ultimately it is his decision. But I'm there for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm the only girl on the show, so I try to bring in more feminine, girly topics. It could be celebrity stuff that he has no idea about.
I love good pop culture.
Yeah, like Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and the whole lawsuit.
How messy is that?
It's so messy, and I love it. I eat it
Yeah.
up. It's amazing, and I'm a big TikTok person, so I know I'm very up to date on a lot of celebrity gossip.
TikTok's great for that, by the way.
It's so amazing. So a lot of celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
So, but he wouldn't. It's hard to
Yeah.
get him to care about stuff like that. And eventually, sometimes he'll see how passionate I am, and he'll allow it. And then other times he's like, I really don't care.
So let's talk about the Grammys a little bit then, if you want
Yeah.
to pop culture.
Right.
Chapel Ronan,
Yeah.
what did you think of her nipples?
I don't.
I thought it was too much.
You
First of all,
think-
her poor nipples.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
I'm sensitive here, so I can't even imagine wearing something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, just
But,
walking
you know,
around with that.
statement to her, let's just be naked.
I don't
you
know if those were prosthetics on top.
So I read about it. Yeah, it was like little pasties that went on there, and
Yeah.
then she hooked it like that.
Because she laughed. She said, I don't know why people find this so ridiculous. It's like your tits were out
Yeah. How can you
on
not?
the red carpet. By the way,
Pink pony club.
little girls love her.
Yeah.
Like teens, tweens, girls love her. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Can we teach them to be a little less slutty?
I mean, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
you do dress how you want, but
Yeah.
I'm going to have an opinion about it. And
Yeah.
I think that was like
Absolutely.
crazy. But
Yeah, I started a new podcast show with my buddy. We did a couple episodes, but it's we listen, we judge, we have questions.
Okay, I like that. That's great.
What about Justin Bieber, man?
His
Performing in his
performance?
underwear.
First
I
of
feel like he
all,
was trying to make a statement.
yeah, like shedding himself,
Yeah,
and this is who
but
I
it's
am.
the Grammys. Bro.
I mean, I'll look at any man in boxers. I mean,
Yeah.
so I appreciate that as a woman. I'm like, yes, show me all your tattoos. But also, you know, allegedly he was completely wasted.
Yeah.
And he could have done better. We've seen Justin Bieber do so much, so many amazing things, and so well thought out.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was extremely lazy. And then you had a mirror there.
Yeah.
And it's like, anybody could do this.
Yeah, I agree.
He's been away from the music industry for such a long time. I
Yeah.
feel like
he could have made an emphatic
He could have done
statement.
anything.
Yeah.
The Grammys would have thrown so much money at him. Or, you know, he's rich. He could have done anything. And he did nothing.
Yeah.
Literally the bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a couple of things. I think Kendrick now is probably. I think he's taken Jay-Z's spot. He's the most Grammy Award-winning or hip-hop artist of all time. He's won a Pulitzer Prize. He swept. I do have a little bit of a conspiracy, though.
Okay.
So last year, you know, Jay-Z is in charge of the Super Bowl now, halftime shows and all that kind of stuff. He's also, you know, he's very educated and suave in marketing and all that kind of stuff. So last year he booked Kendrick. Kendrick sweeps all the big awards on February 1st. Next week goes on to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Bad Bunny. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I did find it weird that he wasn't allowed to perform at the Grammys because he's performing at the Super Bowl.
That's a thing for anybody that performs at the Super
That's
Bowl. I think it's
weird.
for, it could be a month, but I think it's almost 2 months.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No,
you know?
I think it's a very smart idea. If I'm hiring you for the Super Bowl and it's the biggest stage on this entire
That's
world,
fair.
there's no way I'm going to allow you to go
Give
a
the
week
show,
beforehand on the
Okay,
Grammys.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, and now they're getting all the shine. Now people might not even tune into my show because they just saw you.
Correct, because they're already upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me.
Bless Kid Rock's heart that he thinks he's going to do better than.
I know. I don't know why, but I still like Kid Rock.
I do. I like
Because
his music too.
I can separate like
Yeah.
somebody be crazy or political, regardless. I mean, I still love Ball with the Ball. I grew up with like his music, so I still like him.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big political person.
Right.
I like your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, and then touching base on Jay-Z, since we like pop culture, he did just get named in the Epstein list.
So he was mentioned.
Mentioned.
Through
I get
the
it.
Epstein
Yeah.
list,
No damning evidence yet.
No.
You know, let's not be quick to judge.
Well, there's 3
but
million pages. There's time.
He does have a history, and it's been over the years of grooming. I
Yeah.
mean, Aaliyah, Foxy Brown was like 14 when they dated.
Beyonce was like 15, 16.
15 when he started grooming her. Rihanna.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. You don't just ascend to,
Right.
you know. So it's kind of like Dave Chappelle did this joke, and it was kind of like I didn't know how to take it, but he was like, you know, he was talking about Bill Cosby, and I kind of the only thing I related to that. He goes, you know, Bill Cosby, and he started listing off all these things he did for civil rights and you know minorities and kind of stuff. He's like, but he rapes a little.
Yeah.
He was like, so I know you in an ideal world you want either, but can you justify someone's actions on that small and they've done all these great things?
It takes away from all the wonderful things that you've done. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There could be more stuff that comes out, and I wouldn't about Jay-Z, and I wouldn't be surprised about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. He just tries to make sure he upsets people so often with his decision making with the Super Bowl, instead of doing something for the people. I don't know how else to say it. It's just he's very divisive on purpose.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to see Bad Bunny. I like Bad Bunny and I want to see him perform.
Yeah.
But I can understand why the world was upset because they're not going to be able to understand his music.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me because I speak English and I used to be able to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I took it for 7 years. I don't know shit now.
Yeah, you got to practice it.
I do. And and exactly. And so I'm excited. I like Spanish music, so it's cool with me. But I get why, you know, I don't know, the middle of the country would be very upset about it.
For sure. And, you know, I didn't realize, you know, me being from Cincinnati, Ohio, it's like the heart of the Midwest, right? I didn't realize my Midwest morals till I moved down here to Florida.
Oh, you have morals?
A few.
Okay.
You know, many left. But what I'm saying is, like, I didn't realize that, like, I was a little bit more conservative than I may have thought.
Right. I think
You
that
know?
happens when you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because you're more young, free, you try new stuff.
Yeah.
But then when you start building yourself and in your career and maybe making a little bit more money, you tend to see
Absolutely.
yourself. Or when you have kids, your
right.
eyes are open to weird situations
Yeah.
that you never thought beforehand. And it does not happen usually until you have your own kid.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's interesting. Why didn't I notice that before? Yeah, so age and making maybe a little bit more money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So to do a fun story, could you share, because I know you guys get a lot of call-ins,
Yeah.
right? can you share with me just one of your most memorable call-ins that
Yeah.
you'll never forget?
So, two come to mind. One, we always have this caller, and he'll call either often and then take a long break and then start calling. But his name is Jacob 2 times. And because whatever he says, he repeats. He'll be like, Meredith, Meredith, and he'll say like that. And we absolutely adore him and love him. And as a matter of fact, he's beloved by all of the radio stations in this market because he's obsessed with radio.
Yeah.
He will talk about something I did 12 years ago because that's how long he's been listening, and he retains that information. But and it's very genuine and very sweet. And
Shout out to Jacob 2 times.
Jacob 2 times is super awesome. And then we had this medium called J Ray, and she.
Do you believe in that stuff?
So I don't know. Not until
Let's
that.
hear this story.
Not until that. And then what
Okay.
I'm about to say. Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock into like. I'm a Capricorn. Like I like reading it, but I'm not obsessed with it.
Yeah.
It's the same with like spiritual stuff. Like I'm sure there are ghosts and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I tend not to overdo it or think
Yeah.
about it too much. Okay, so J Ray, who's best friends with J Lo, by the way.
Okay.
She's very well known. She came in the studio, and she was talking to us, and she was reading us just lately. And then she started taking phones, and we're in there. We are controlling the phones, okay? And she's just blowing through phones. And she picks up this one woman, and what she was telling her about her life and what she's going through, before the woman said her first name. This is after multiple calls, so it couldn't be set up. And she started saying how you went through a traumatic scenario. There's going to be a door. Have you been having nightmares lately? And she's like, yes, I see a door, and it opens, and then I see these children coming out, and then I see my past behind me with my father dying. She's like. And we had goosebumps, even talking about it right now.
Oh, wow.
And she was trying to heal because her father was passing, and it was just amazing. So that was definitely one of those monumental moments that I love having her in. So it's very interesting. It's very cool. Yeah.
So another thing too, we'll talk about stories. So like I was reading in your bio, you did some Florida man and woman story.
A Florida man story.
Check my notes. Hold on.
We used to have to write articles here.
Yeah.
So that could be one of them.
Possibly. It says you're.
Thank God we don't have to write articles anymore. Because I'm not a journalist,
That's fair. You know what? This one's not that important. You did win last year Content Creator of the Month.
Year.
Content Creator of the Year.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're yeah.
Content Creator of the Year in 2025.
Yes, and Babs won it this year.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that duo.
Yeah.
Uplifting each other. You guys understand that. So tell me a little bit more about that. How does one get nominated? How does it feel to win? How does it feel to give your friend a little advice so she follows up and wins the next year? Because you're all about to be unstoppable.
Yeah. I was taken away. I had no idea that was even happening. I was told, hey, we have a meeting with everybody in the building. Please show up. And I'm like, oh, I'm obviously here anyway because the show ends at 10.
Yeah.
And so I just walk in, and then they start handing out awards. That award is picked from our digital department. They stay on top of YouTube, social media, everything, and they see how much effort and originality you've been putting into your brand and also the radio station you work at.
Yeah.
And because of that, I mean, it felt amazing because it felt like, okay, somebody's watching me.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying attention.
Somebody's watching
Right.
me.
Yes. But, Babs absolutely deserves it. I knew that she would get it this year. She's been pushing so hard, and so I come to her for advice. She shoots ideas back and forth with me. We work together on different avenues and how we can become bigger and grow our brands. And we love collaborating and doing social media, little shorts and reels together.
Yeah.
And so
you're good at it too.
Thank you. And sometimes it's really, really stupid, and sometimes it's just, hey, I'm having a shitty day. I'm losing my voice, or something like that. But it's fun. It was fun. It was nice to actually have an award.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can put something up on and show my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then be like, "What is this, Mom?" And it'd be like, "Well, I got an award."
This is what happens when you're the best.
Best, just for this year. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that is nice. So, and you've kind of helped build. I checked out the Wild 94.1 YouTube page.
Yeah.
Very amusing stuff. I mean,
you.
do you do a lot of that, or is it your team? You do. I can tell.
Yeah. So either Orlando or our digital team will actually edit the video. I was editing videos for a very long time. So that actually just got taken off my plate, let's just say 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm the one that's putting in, as you know, with YouTube, all the details and all the tags and all the stuff, but I create all the thumbnails as well.
Okay.
So it's a collaborative team. And
Yeah.
then Rich, who also works on the show, he's the one that does all the shorts. And then we'll put those shorts up on Instagram for Reels and all
Yeah,
those
all the
things.
platforms.
Yeah, so yes, while I'm doing a live show and while I'm recording a show that'll be airing the same day at 10 a.m. to sound live,
Yeah.
I'm also doing YouTube stuff at the same time and just
Wow.
making sure that it's scheduled throughout the day, every
Yeah.
single day.
Well, would you suggest that? Because, everybody, I will tell you who gave the best advice, to be honest, or blueprints
Yeah.
for success and monetizing your social media is honestly the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
I know, and the pornographic part is actually a small part
Yeah, it is.
initially, but they'll tell you, open as many accounts on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok as you can, post 2 to 3 times per account and direct traffic to one spot.
Yes.
And that's how you win. And
Yeah.
it's very simple. It's a lot of work.
It is.
But it's like, do you want this?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then some people think they do, and then they get it, and they're like, I don't want this anymore.
Well, it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of outside noise as well and a lot of judgment. So my dad is in Mensa. He's a brilliant human being.
Yeah.
He was a VP for Wells Fargo.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so I have a conversation with him, and he's like out here. He's like way out here having very intellectual conversation with me, and I'm over here like, well, I was telling fart jokes on air today. You know what I mean? So, it's nice. He told me a couple months ago. He's like, I'm really proud of you. And I never thought that I would hear that from him because I didn't know if there was like much of a respect factor. But now he sees because he's visited me, he sees how much work it is, whether he gets it or
That
not.
validation from your father is probably almost as rewarding as content creator of the year.
100%. And so, that's a big deal. And so I always try to do the same with my own kids when not all the time. Like you have to actually earn it. But yeah, so it's really nice to get the content creator of the year and then hear the validation. But it's a lot of hard work behind the scenes doing everything.
Absolutely, 100%.
And I've always thought, I'm like, man, a lot of women, every woman has thought maybe I should just go on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We've thought about it. Even if you're a church woman,
absolutely, 100%.
and you know what that is, you'd be like, man, I wonder how my life would be different or all this stuff. But there's a stigma that goes along with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you hear that the person you're talking to, the woman you're talking to, the man you're talking to is on OnlyFans, you immediately think it's all inappropriate stuff.
No, it's not. I mean, they have a whole comedy series on there. They have all kinds of things. But just like with anything, if you don't know how to market, promote it properly, or a lot of people, even with your social media, is once you get into sustaining and growthability is the engagement and you communicating with your followers.
100%.
And it just like with a network, like we've talked about a network a couple times, it's one thing to go out and meet places and meet people to network.
Yeah.
You then have to follow up and work the network.
Right, exactly.
In order for it to go anywhere, or it's just people then.
Well, I think a good example of that is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We met at Mav's event, and that was a lot of fun. And then we connected, and look at what we're doing now.
Yeah, and you were so eager. So, like, I much appreciate because you never know with some people, especially where I come from in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a very small city, so it's very competitive.
Sure.
So, like, I was kind of surprised how you were like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, wow. I didn't even have to try and convince you or anything.
Well, you did say you're going to bring
snacks.
food. Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
This is a big incentive.
So if in an ideal, we'll kind of wrap it up with this, a couple things. In an idea, how does an ideal 2026 look for you? For those, and then to follow that up, for those people that don't know Meredith, why should they know you? And then why should they never forget Meredith?
I can be your closest friend, the friend you've always wanted, like your girlfriend, your best friend. I can talk to you literally about all the things, and I don't know. I never really had like a best friend growing up, so now I hear this a lot. That's the only reason I'm kind of like saying this. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I enjoy listening to you and your take on stuff, even though we don't always agree, is because I feel like I have known you for such a long time, and so that is one of the biggest compliments ever. Nice. I love the communication. I love talking to people. I love making somebody feel like they're the only person in a room that's full. Yeah. And it's coming from a genuine place. So for 2026, I would just like to see a lot more growth from myself. I would like to see maybe myself on an extra platform. And I also really, really want to hone in on my home life as well.
Yeah.
That's very important to me. I think that sometimes you can get lost in the sauce and the hustle and all this. And you can, and it's easy to, or you're just focused on this, and
then people lose the joy of it all.
Right, and there's joy in everything, and you can get stressed out about everything. I definitely do at times, but I really want to lock in on being present with my children, like you mentioned earlier. I want to be very focused on that and being a good mom and good wife and all that stuff.
Can we say hi to the kids? What's their names?
Hi, Olivia is 5, and Aubrey is 9.
Olivia and Aubrey.
Yes.
Hi, how you guys doing? You have a great mom.
Oh, you're
Grow up
so
to be
sweet.
just like her. Well, folks, I am Diggity Dean Dane Sampson. This is the Interview Podcast 513. Thank you to Meredith.
Thank you.
For having me. I had a wonderful time. It's great. I'm going to leave the snacks for your crew.
You don't want to take any cheese or cheesecake or bread?
That's for you.
Okay, well,
yeah,
the bread is
you can change
mine.
it for the staff.
Okay.
But you can find her on Q105 and Wild 94.1 as a co-host of the Orlando and the Freak Show.
Yes.
That airs at what time every day?
6 a.m. to 10 a.m. with Orlando and the Freak Show. And then on Q105, we play 80s and 90s music.
Yeah.
And that's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
It's a busy lady. We love you. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was good?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, just like a natural conversation.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of go, like, I hate, my style is like, I'm not the investigative reporter.
No, right. Well, and if you see something's like a little touchy or uncomfortable or something like that, I've worked with people. Am I glistening? Do I need any extra makeup or am I good?
I think you're good.
Okay.
Am I glistening? I definitely am. I can feel it. All right. Are we ready?